Hello one and all, my name is Ryan Bruce, my friends call me Fluff, and today on Riffs, Beards, and Gear, we check out this adorable little guy. This is the all-new TONEX ONE from IK Multimedia. Back a couple of years ago, IK Multimedia rocked the guitar world. Yes, I'm gonna say they rocked the guitar world because they came out with the TONEX technology, the ecosystem that we now know, with the TONEX pedal. And this let people take entire signal chains and amp tones and put them in a pedal, and it did it very, very well. Well, today we're going to check out the newest version of the TONEX tech, the TONEX ONE, this teeny tiny little guy from IK Multimedia. Now, before we go any further, this is a sponsored video. IK Multimedia sent me this pedal to show you guys. I have not been asked to say anything good or bad about this pedal, and all thoughts and opinions are still mine. Now, the TONEX ONE is a masterclass in execution and features, and there are multiple roles that each one of these controls play, and the amount of things that you can do without the desktop software is nuts. Now, this is not a video manual, so I will not be going over all of the just absolutely mind-boggling features. I will not be showing you how to deep dive into the menu and things like that. However, I'm going to show you my favorite and the best features of the TONEX ONE, all of its compact goodness, and it also sounds great doing it. So the TONEX ONE has the same cutting edge amp cab and pedal tones as the larger TONEX pedal. However, it does it in a decidedly, hilariously small footprint. Now, my first thought when I received this and started playing with it was, oh man, if I had like 2 or 3 of these, I would have a pretty good sized sonic setup. I would have multiple pedals and multiple amplifiers of my choosing for a given gig. You could take this lone pedal and do an entire gig with it, because the output is a TRS output. So you can go straight to front of house with this. You can plug headphones into it. You can also disable the cab section of the patch and go into a power amp and drive a cab, just as an example. Now, of course, the TONEX ONE utilizes all of the TONEX features, which include advanced AI machine modeling technology for hyper-realistic tone, play models of amps and cabs, combos, distortion, overdrive, fuzz, boost, and EQ pedals. However, I do want to point out no time-based effects are applicable to the TONEX ecosystem, all right? So if you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna have like a bunch of delays, no, you're not. Now with the TONEX ONE, there are 2 primary ways to use this pedal on your board. The first way is bypass mode, and that is simply having one preset, one patch, one sound, and you can turn it on and off, right? So as an example, a Klon overdrive, you can use this as just an overdrive in front of a normal setup, and you can turn it on and off. But you also have dual mode, and you can switch between 2 different sounds. As an example, you can have a Marshall, a boosted Marshall on one sound, and then hit the foot switch and switch to a Dr. Z amplifier, just as an example. See what I'm saying with the stringing multiples of these together? So you could have one for amplifier in dual mode, and then you could have another one in dual mode running 2 different pedals. As an example, you would have an entire setup in the palm of your hand, and you can put it in your pocket. It blows me away. Now with the TONEX ONE, you can have up to 20 different tone models on board, all right? So any 20 tone models, whether that is an amp cab combination, amplifier, fuzz, distortion, what have you, you can have 20 of them on the pedal, all right? You can use the desktop software to load those onto the pedal, and then you no longer need the desktop software in order to access those. However, of course, this is the TONEX system, ecosystem, so you have access to tens of thousands of different tones, captures, collections, etc., at which to put stuff on this pedal, all right? So there's lots and lots of stuff that you can pick and choose and cherry pick to your liking, and you just toss it on the pedal, and then toss it in your pocket, and then go to the gig. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do a little bit of a playthrough. I'm going to go ahead and just go straight into my Neve 1073 preamp for the playthrough. And I'm gonna bring up the desktop software, the TONEX software, and we're just gonna have a little bit of playthrough. I'm gonna show you around the pedal a little bit and kind of use it a little bit and show you some of my favorite features of the TONEX ONE. Let's do a playthrough. Okay, so I am here with the TONEX ONE here on the desk. I have the TONEX desktop software open and the TONEX ONE connected to my computer via USB. Now, when I click home, this is what I am greeted with. We have a bunch of things going on here. We have our preset list, we have our filters, so we can quickly sort for whatever we're looking for, right? So, for example, if I'm looking for an overdrive, I'm gonna come down here to Stomp Overdrive and it's instantly gonna give me all the overdrives, just as an example. And then I click back and then I have the full thing. And I can also sort between character, stomp based on, amp based on, cab based on, and date added, all right? Right now, we're just gonna go name. I'm gonna start all the way up at the top. I have some tones and presets, and I have my presets browser, but I can also come up here and if I wanna quickly find some of my own presets, I can just use this drop-down menu and go to the folder I created, and I can get right to my various presets, right? Whether that's a Mark II, whether that is a overdrive pedal, etc., etc. Now, if we come over here to the librarian tab, we are now seeing what's happening on the TONEX ONE, okay? And for those of you that are familiar with the larger TONEX pedal, this won't be unfamiliar to you, but it was unfamiliar to me because, again, like I said earlier, I didn't demo or check out the original TONEX pedal. This is my first foray into the TONEX stuff. So between the two modes, stomp mode and dual mode, we have basically our three tones, and when those can be whatever we want them to be. Now, I currently have this set up as a Boogie rectifier and a Boogie Mark series amp. Now, if I were to go into stomp mode, I would then have just an OD 808 overdrive to use with a real amp, like you heard in the demo tune, all right? This for me is just, you know, I have a couple of different options. Now, right now, I am plugged into the TONEX ONE, and I have, if I select these on the desktop, you can see the pedal change colors. It can let me know which one it's on, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit. Now, you'll notice that on the Boogie, I got a little bit of noise, but if I switch over to the rectifier, I don't, because the gates are at different settings. Let's say I wanna go ahead and adjust the gate on my pedal board right now. I'm gonna switch over, I'm gonna go into alternate parameter mode, and I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the gate, which is the far left control. And then I'm gonna get out of the alternate parameter mode by clicking on Alt once more, and I'm back to using my basic setup, right? My bass, middle, and treble controls as they are labeled. Now, maybe I want to adjust the gain on this particular amplifier. I'm gonna once again go to the alternate parameter because my main knob is an overall volume knob, and I don't wanna mess with that. So alternate. Pretty good. I'm gonna get out of the alternate mode. So now when I switch over to my rectifier, I have some contrasting tones. Maybe I wanna dial this a little bit differently. Maybe I want some more mid-range and top end. pretty good. So now that I've adjusted those, let's load in something else. And I don't know what it's gonna be, but let's find out. So right here in this middle section, we have all of the TONEX patches that are on the pedal itself, all right? So this differs from down here is, this is on my computer, all right? This section is what is one of the 20 presets. These are the 20 different sounds that are actually loaded onto the pedal and that we can put into position A and B if we're in dual mode, and the single position if we're in stomp mode, okay? Ooh, Dr. Maz 18. Let's check that out. I'm gonna just go ahead and drag this over and we're gonna see what it sounds like. I'm just gonna go ahead and select this on the desktop software. Hear the reverb? Maybe I want a little bit more reverb. I'm gonna go into alternate mode and I'm gonna turn up the reverb. Maybe I want a little bit of compression. But I do want to make sure my gate is not going to choke out any notes because this is a cleaner tone. It's not a clean tone, but it's a cleaner tone. So I'm going to turn my gate all the way down. I want to back off the reverb a little bit. And now that I am done, I'm going to get out of the alternate parameter mode. Still have my rectifier. Let's equalize the volumes a little bit. So this is really intuitive in my opinion. I mean, IK Multimedia has so many different combinations of things. There's a built-in browser. You don't have to use this desktop software if you don't want to. However, this will come with a quick guide and it has all of the button combinations to do all of the things. So basically, you can go through your browser on the pedal itself and you can choose any of the 20 patches or tones that you have loaded onto the pedal at any given time. You can do this, right before a gig. So if you have a set of 2 amps that you use for one gig and you want to change those 2 amps out for another pair, you can do that. Now, finally, one of my favorite things about the TONEX ONE is the brilliantly laid out tuner. Check this out. I'm gonna hold down the foot switch and now I'm in tuner mode. I love the intuitiveness and how the LEDs kind of fade in and out, letting you know if you're high or not, or high or low. I love that. Also, you can switch and tell it to bypass audio or not pass audio or not. I just have it on so you guys can hear, but still, I thought that was super cool. And if I want to get back out of the tuner, just click the bypass again and I'm off to the races. The TONEX ONE. All right, so what do I think? The TONEX ONE is a hilariously small, compact, yet powerful solution to anyone that is looking to travel light or travel well and to sound good. And I just couldn't help but think the entire time that I was actually initially checking this out, like, where has technology gone that I can just put an entire sonic sound into this? Like, this blows me away. It's such a great time to be a guitarist. Now, admittedly, at the time of this filming, I have no idea how much this costs. I believe it's under 300 bucks, but again, I don't know how much this costs. Whatever it costs, it is really, really dang cool. And this is a lot of fun, and this can be anything you want. I don't know. I'm out of words to describe this. This is so cool, and it sounds good doing it. Yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to see where this kind of tech is in a year or two, if that makes sense. Like, are these just gonna get smaller? Like, where do you go from here? Because this, to me, is unfathomable to my 16, 17-year-old self, if that makes sense. I will link down below in the description if you'd like to know more information about all things TONEX ONE. And while you're down there, please consider subscribing to further support this channel. And with that, you've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.